Hi, welcome back to Wild Speculations. I'm Daniel.
Scott.
This week we talk about Critical Role Campaign 2, Episode 66, Beneath the Bazzoxan. Started off with a bang.
Yes. Not the rock fight I expected, but the one I needed. It was interesting.
Yeah.
We start with them feather falling
Yes.
and choosing their disguises. Not turns invisible.
Yes.
Solid plan.
Yes.
Jester decides to dress up like Tingle from The Legend of Zelda. Not as good a plan as invisible.
No. But
the one that takes the cake. Ford, let me dress up like a rock's food.
yeah, that was my thought too. He's like, rotting and unappetizing. It's like, this is a bird of prey. Scavenger as well. Yeah, your food. It's not going to fight back. Yeah, same.
Of course, Cable disguises himself as a rival bird.
Well, not really disguised. That was more, he was already in that form.
Been in that form.
That's a utility thing. But that may have been a good option for him because, for the same reason that, peregrines share the same territory as sparrows.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another bird. I don't think it necessarily recognized that Caleb was in the nest.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, Ford's was the one that I was like, huh. And of course, the punchline for Jesters was when Sam made Not Invisible. And Laura was like, oh yeah, I should have done that.
Yeah, that would have been a better choice. Yes.
It's like, wait, that was an option for you and you still went with the... Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have Bo, who, can I just swim backwards? Do you not understand how physics works yet?
Well, the thing is you can. You just don't get a whole lot of thrust.
This is true.
And she would probably be better able to move, not by swimming so much as tumble.
Yeah.
As altering her momentum.
Yeah.
Because if she can start basically flipping in the direction that she wants to go, just the momentum change will begin to shift her that. But it's much funnier to see her just sort of literally and figuratively twist in the wind.
Yeah. Nothing ever bad happens to a leaf on the wind.
I think that might have been my favorite line of Matt's.
Yeah.
In the episode.
But yes, and The Rock starts out strong. Natural 20 averted by a held action.
Yeah.
And a natural 20 save against the first use of polymorph by the...
Yeah, he was dropping bombs with that die. I think 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Over the course of the night.
I think it was 4. But eventually, Jester polymorphs it into a bat.
Yeah. Following Caleb's lead.
And then she uses her cloak and almost made me think of The Great Outdoors. Dan Aykroyd and John Candy when they're camping.
It's been so long since I've seen the movie.
And they have the bats in the cabin with them. So
Don't they use the lamp shot? Well, they use the lamp shotgun on the bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just the bat keep getting out and them having to recatch it. And
well, it's funny because, and I don't even know why, but I think it was that day I was talking with my coworker about that video. That he's like, catch him, Derry!
nice.
So my mind went exactly to where Liam was. I was like, yeah. Do you think Matt was trying to hint to them that they could take this thing on because it was so aggro against them, or not? Because technically, both times he's put a rock in front of them, they should have been able to take it.
I think that I don't think he's like saying, "Hey, you can take this." I think it's if you want to take it.
Yeah.
If you want to try.
Well, here's a question that we will never get an answer to.
Always the best ones, because then we can make up our own.
Exactly. They helped a druid get a rock to Vasselheim.
Mm-hmm.
Is this rock and this tree in any way related to that rock?
That's a good question.
Now, that rock never took up residence in the Wild Mother's tree,
right,
in Vasselheim, but
given the scarcity of suitable wildlife in Jorhaus,
yeah,
possibly, yeah, could be doing a whole yin yang thing.
Yeah. I didn't last week. I didn't give enough props to Matt because my brain was in such a mechanical place because I'd been working on mechanics the whole previous week. But the giant tree is an image that I like a lot.
Yeah.
And in one of my settings, I have 7 of them. So, yeah, and although I think mine might even be bigger than what Matt presented. But yeah, so we got to spend a little more time with that.
Yeah.
We got to see Ford abandon team members again. That was one of my favorite moments in the early episode when she's reaching out, take me, sort of help me like you helped Jester, and he's like, nope, can't, sorry.
Would he if he could? And yes, I'm digging back into that Ford debate. I don't think he would have. I think if he had the ability to help someone, he would have made sure he got to Jester and taken her, and still left Bo.
I would like to argue against that,
but I'm
but
right.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think if he has the choice, he's going to save Jester, but not for the reason that shippers want it to be.
Right.
He's going to save Jester because Jester's player is his wife, and he doesn't want to hear, "You could have saved me."
See, I think I have a different conclusion. I think
Okay.
it's an in-character reasoning. And I don't think it's for the reason the shippers want it to be.
Okay.
Jester is the one who never seriously stands up to him. Yeah, she's called him an ass. Yes, she's, been upset with him. But she has never truly stood up to and defied him. Everyone else will call him out on his bullshit. She will support him in his bullshit.
That's true. Okay, fair. So how would you have handled the capturing of the rock? Because I thought what he did was interesting. In that, over the course of 10 minutes, he's really truncating everything down to 5 to 6 checks for that 10 minutes rather than the 100.
Yeah.
He also wasn't giving Jester an opposing role for the breaking out.
And I think he was considering it like breaking out of the net.
Yeah, it's fair.
More than
I was thinking that he was
grapple.
using a passive check for Jester, just because her passive strength check in that situation, her passive athletics, is going to be 13 or 14, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember if she's proficient in athletics or not.
I don't know. If she's proficient in athletics, it's going to be higher.
Yeah.
She's got a 16 strength, so it's 13 without that.
Yeah.
So it'd be 16 with if she is.
Yeah.
No, I think it was more of because Jester had the cloak. The bat's just trying to get out of the cloak. It's not trying to beat Jester's strength. It's trying to rip through the cloak.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
So I would have handled it like in that, and that's what I assumed he did, which would be why she didn't get an opposed roll.
Right on.
Now, if she had the bat actually in her hands, then it would have been a grapple and opposed roll.
Yeah.
So that's how I would have handled it, and that's how I assumed while watching that he handled it.
But on my first watch, shortly after that whole thing had passed, after Caduceus tried to do the animal handling on it.
Yes, we do one of the dangers of handling animals in this episode, both here and with the more bounters.
Yes, yeah. I was like, why don't you cast blindness on it?
Yeah.
But I don't know if bats' brains work the same way as bird brains. But I also don't think that bats can be blinded.
Yeah, but since bats use echolocation, would deafness have been a better choice?
Yeah.
They can't tell where things are if they can't hear the sound coming back to them.
Yeah, I mean they do have eyes.
Yeah.
So, but that would allow you to.
But we're going with
cover
the stereotypical bat, not actual, because bats actually have pretty decent eyesight.
Yeah. But like having it in the bag or otherwise covering its eyes and then deafening it.
Yeah.
Probably would get the desired
overall effect.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my side seat driving, and that's.
Well, my side seat driving, and this is something that I've got to relook at exactly how suffocation/drowning works in D&D, because it's not something that I've ever had to deal with a lot, and so it's not something
It's very kind until it is not.
Okay, but is it actual hit point reduction?
Yes.
It is. Okay, so that's why. I was like, why not just turn it into a goldfish and let it suffocate?
Oh, yeah, because it'd be a rock again very quickly.
Yeah. And that's what I wasn't sure on, if
okay.
it was hit point reduction or just, like, with exhaustion, where you're dead. And you don't lose hit points, but you end up dying.
It's your con mod in minutes. That
Right.
You can hold your breath.
I knew
And after that period of time, you drop to 0 hit points,
Okay.
and then you die.
Okay. And see, I didn't know if it was like that or if, like exhaustion works and you're not actually losing hit points, but all of a sudden you're dead.
Yeah. No, it's hit point
Which would be a way to kill something big, turn into a goldfish,
Yeah.
So that would be why. That answers my question.
Yeah. I was just thinking, what about Alter Self? I was like, what? Nope, it's in the title. Because one of the things in Alter Self is breathing water.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, but it's Alter Self.
Yeah.
Not other person. I loved, so I don't know if I want to get into discussion MVP just now or not, but Marisha being up in the nest as they've got the rock in the bag and digging around, and Matt poking. There's potentially treasures up here, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just have to deal with the bird.
Yeah, and Travis, do it.
Yeah. And I mean, she summed it up. You know, her love for birds. You made me hit a bird. You know, and that was the dilemma. Was Marisha's love of birds?
You think that was it?
Rather than just
I thought it was they didn't want to kill the baby.
Oh, Marisha's proven time and again in the past
children,
campaigns
yeah.
that.
Okay, fair. Although, you know, in her defense, the Emperor, the kids with the Emperor was an accident.
Okay. And when she choked out the little girl in the beginning of the campaign too? Rather than dealing with the frog demon?
She was trying to not kill her? Yeah. Maybe humanoid children she's fine with. But animal children,
there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gets some things, some coins, a box, you know.
Close to 300 gold.
Yeah. Which is not bad.
Yeah. And some robes, which part of me wonders the significance of those.
Yeah.
Because I think Matt designed this encounter, or
to foreshadow, or not necessarily foreshadow, but
not foreshadow, but no, I think not even necessarily hints.
Okay.
I think this encounter was set up to test the level of assholishness of the Mighty Nine.
Okay.
Because there's a rock, it's endangering them. They sort of invaded its space to kick the whole thing off. They could have killed it in an out-and-out battle.
Yeah.
They kill it. Hey, loot. They go back up the tree. There's a baby. So now they have to make that choice.
Raise it or kill it.
Yeah. And now they've also got this loot. Matt basically, instead of quartering the nest, indicated that he would have this in fifths, which I thought was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
And was indicative of something that he was going to have up there.
Okay.
So I think those robes are important in some way.
Without a doubt, I agree with that. I mean, for me, if I was a player in that game, That would be my most wanted piece of loot. I would, you know me, I would squirrel those suckers away and end up using it as a disguise in some way to try and get somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and no one asked the question, do they look official or anything like that?
Hands down, I'm in that game. That's the only portion of the treasure I care about. Give me those roads, you guys can split everything else.
Yeah. I love the way Sam is playing Not. Or I should say the way Sam is playing a rogue. I have no doubt that many people in chat were much like the people at the table. Check it for traps. I love that he doesn't. I love that he's just like, click, click.
Just a small box.
Yep. And my initial watch through and understanding of that scene had me going back and going, what? Because I remembered Matt asking, what's your passive perception?
Mm-hmm.
And then when she doesn't have the flask later and she flips out, I was like, okay, something happened. And then I was like, was it Smerfeblin? Was it an imp? I was like, because I was thinking of all these invisible kind of creatures that could have taken it. And then while we were eating, you're like, oh no, Jester took it. I was like, what?
Yep.
Like,
and yeah, I didn't catch it till Not flipped out. I noticed at the time that I didn't catch what Laura said, but I noticed the look that Sam and Taliesin gave her. I noticed him ask for a sleight of hand check, and I noticed him ask for the passive perception. It's like, what happened right there? You know, I wasn't sure. I was watching live, so I couldn't rewind it.
Yeah.
And then when she's like, she's like, I take a drink, and Sam knew that she didn't have the flask when she said that, you know. And he said, as soon as Matt's like, it's not there, I was like, that's what happened. She took the flask. And it makes perfect sense because in the last episode, when Jester found out that she was drinking again,
she got all sad.
She got super sad.
Yeah.
You know? And then when Not's confronting everybody, oh, you could just locate the object. Do you want me to waste that spell slot? I really just want you to be better. You know, and it wouldn't be hard for Jester to just be like, yeah, okay, I'll locate object. Nope, it's
cast
not.
It,
it's not
within 1,000 feet.
Yeah, or or even really cast it if she wanted to, because it's not going to tell everybody else where it is, only her.
That's true.
And then just a deception check. Either way, it's just a deception check, and
Not is not very insightful.
Yes.
Which is one of the
now. However, Caduceus would probably know, and possibly Caleb.
Yeah.
Those would be the first two. Of course, Bo has a high wisdom.
Yeah.
Ford probably not going to notice.
In that situation, does Caleb out Jester?
That's probably why she didn't do it. Because that's what I would be afraid of.
She didn't want to force the issue?
Yeah. But, yeah, it's just, and it's all going back to that, and she offers to cast the restoration on him. You want me to waste a spell slot? Is this really that big a deal? Oh, but I'll waste a spell slot for you.
Yeah. Agreed.
Although half of she only threatened, questioned, accused half of the group. Ford, Yasha, and Caduceus. She never questions Caleb. She never questions Bo. She never questions Jester.
Now, I think that was Sam letting it play out
Okay.
more than anything else. I think in Sam's mind, he's going through who would not suspect and not suspect, and why. She would suspect Ford just because he's fucking with her.
Yeah, because they bug with each other. Yeah.
The Yasha was the one that kind of threw me.
No, she's always questioned Yasha from the beginning.
That's true.
She's always been afraid of Yasha, but she's always not trusted Yasha.
Yeah. I do love how quick Yasha is.
If you took it, I'll kill you. And it fucking take it. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't hurt me.
Yeah, the last couple episodes where they've had a slight conflict, like when she was, "Don't do that again," or "Stop shooting me." It's like,
yeah. So, how does this side plot end? This event end?
What do you mean? With the flask?
Does she find out it's Jester? How does she deal with that?
Jester will have to come clean when they head back to Rosanna.
Okay.
Until then, unless Not starts searching everybody's pockets, like she did Yasha. Because if she does that to Jester, she's going to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Jester takes the time to sleight of hand it into the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Which isn't going to save it either, because if she reaches into the bag of holding looking for the flask, it will appear in her hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, does this end with a Scanlan style blow up?
Okay, I just had a thought.
Okay.
What if Sam has decided, like maybe not on that Thursday, but in the over this week, that he has decided that he's going to use this as a way to get Laura to explain why Jester never drinks.
Okay.
Because she never drinks.
Yeah, she always has milk.
Mm-hmm. So I have a feeling that's how Sam is going to use it. That he will plan the confrontation in a way to get that information out of her. Because when it does happen, it's going to be, look, I'm doing this for your own good. The fuck you are, you don't understand. You never drink. Why don't you ever drink?
Okay.
Because I was thinking about that too. Like why does Jester not want not to drink?
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be connected to why she doesn't.
Okay.
So, because she always seems disappointed in everybody when everybody's getting drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she says anything,
right?
But you can always, she always plays that.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
The other thing I was wondering about with this, that this kind of clicked, is not dealing with imposter syndrome. She's sitting here as a goblin, something she hates. She's constantly talking about how she hates herself and how she's always felt worthless, not enough. And now she's this goblin, and she's found these people who have accepted her, who have encouraged her, who she's done great things with.
And in an environment that her past self would be at a detriment.
She finds and rescues her husband, who accepts her as she is. Is she afraid that if she goes back to being the halfling, she'll lose all that?
Oh, much more than.
And she's torn between hating what she is now and being afraid of going back to what she was.
Oh, for sure. And I think that's the path that Sam has decided to take. Not story. When they first found Yeza, and it was basically was like, well, Not is like this close to getting everything that she wants. What happens if, now that we have Yeza, we can get you back to the Empire? Do you just hang out with them?
Yeah.
Until Caleb reaches levels that he has 7th level spells. And just comes back and gifts her true polymorph as a means to help her in her retirement. But yeah, I think Sam made that decision, and he's been teasing it out little by little when he's talking about, am I bad for wanting to come with you guys?
Yeah.
And am I a bad person for leaving Yeza behind? And I think that's the arc that Sam has started to lay, is a way for Yeza to get with their son and for her still to leave.
Yeah.
And I think Matt picked up on it because Yeza has said a couple times, not a couple times, in different ways, that he is impressed with what she can do.
Yeah.
And that he might be in the wrong line of work.
Yeah.
That adventuring pays much better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think for sure. Yeah. So they get to Bazzoxan.
Yes.
And
it is not what we expected.
No.
We were wrong.
Expected a hive of scum and villainy, and it turns out it's a bastion of hope, I guess. Against the abyssal forces.
Yes.
And it's basically...
Now, okay, so in the description, and we've got, they see the palace and stuff, and he says Philadelphia experiment type fusion. And that just clicked a note in me. So the Philadelphia experiment was a cloaking experiment, kind of an urban legend kind of thing, and deals with making this warship invisible and stuff, and it ends up sending 2 guys forward in time, but everyone else that was on the ship got fused, so like you had an arm sticking out of the, and still moving and still conscious and people in pain and stuff. But what stuck in my head was the time travel part. And did they try and fail to use dunamancy to seal that place off? Or only partially succeed? And is that why it looks that way?
No.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying, and I can buy it if that is what it is.
Just the Philadelphia experiment comment made me think that.
My interpretation of that was a result of planar travel.
Okay.
That fortress was built on the abyss and brought here.
Okay. I can see that as well.
That was my interpretation of that.
And that probably would have been my interpretation too, had he not said Philadelphia experiment. That one, that just annoying, and having read about it and stuff personally, because I like weird stuff like that,
Yeah.
My brain just globbed onto that term and was like, oh.
Yeah. I'm trying to get. I don't think we got enough. We say it's not a hive of scum and villainy, but that's based on the impressions that the players got in these in the few interactions that they had. It is a bastion. It protects the material plane.
Yes.
But if you go to hell, you get corrupted.
It's true.
And same with the abyss. And they're basically sitting on the outside. And I think that's one of the reasons why when Matt says, we've gained some ground, we lost some ground.
Mm-hmm. We've lost some ground and then gained it back.
Yeah. I think that corruption is part of the reason why they lose the ground.
Okay. I can buy that. I am a firm believer in the corrupting influence of religious sites, and my one shot was all based on a high priest who Vox Machina gave him the horn of Orcus to corrupting and furthering that because of his interaction with this holy relic or unholy relic, however you want to look at it.
Yeah. We got a shipping moment also just before then. We don't want to miss it because we sort of missed last week. We didn't mention the Boyasha thing, so we want to hit it this week.
Okay.
When Jester's like, she gave you a ring, Yasha, and then not. That means you're married.
Oh, that finger means marriage.
Yeah. So Yasha's now at 15 AC.
Yes.
If she keeps the ring when she gets the bracers, that'll take her to 17.
Yep. Which is respectable for a barbarian.
Yeah. Which will mean Caleb is the only one that's super, super squishy.
Yeah.
Which is 11 normally, 14 with mage armor, and 1 turn to 19 with shield. I believe is where he's at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, do you think at the next ASI he takes Mystic Conflux? The Tal'Dorei feat that gives you advantage on Intelligence Arcana rules to determine a magic item and allows you to attune to a 4th item.
No.
Okay. I only asked that because of the conversation he had with the ring, and I've only got so many slots. I really want it though. I don't want to give up anything.
I don't think did any of the players have that in campaign 1? I don't think any of them did.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Well, Tiberius might have.
Yeah.
But Tiberius is also why they have the house rule, and Matt made the feat to cast more than one spell. And yeah.
No, I want to say someone had it though. Late game. Was it Vex or Vax?
It might have been actually Vax.
Might have been Vax
because he has all those daggers, the belt, and
the boots and the armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think Vax might have had it.
Well, then maybe I'm wrong, and Liam does. Liam does take it.
Because I remember when I got the book, when I first got the book, I saw that feat and I was like, that explains all the magic. I distinctly remember thinking that, and I think it was about Vax.
They do a quick recon of the town, thinking they're going to have to go into Bazzoxan, the palace.
Yes.
And they get told, he looks kind of familiar. I haven't seen him in months, though.
Yeah.
Which totally flipped the script, because I think we were sort of on the same path that the players were on, that their base of operations was here.
Right.
And that turns out to not be the case.
Correct.
Well, seemingly not the case. Because, again, they haven't confronted him and been able to really question him. But they find the tomb.
Yes.
Relatively easily. Matt looked worried at one point.
Yeah.
When Taliesin was like, I can just cast Locate Creature and find him. If he had cast it earlier and maintained it for the travel, they may have located him within the mountain.
Yeah. That was my thought.
And I think Matt sort of had a tell in that bit where he's like, but Jester locates the seal. They find the celestial prayer.
That the king's instrument lie deathless and contained until the world ends.
Yeah. And as soon as he read that, I was super hype for the Tarrasque again. I was, because like so much of that goes into what we've been sort of narrowing in our theory that we started this show with.
It fits the Tarrasque and it fits the Chained Oblivion. Yeah.
Well, if we're right, the Tarrasque is the Chained Oblivion.
Right. The Chained Oblivion is a Tarrasque.
Or the Tarrasque is his
avatar.
Yeah, like Uk'otoa is too.
Yeah.
Which we don't even know who created those.
Uk'otoa?
Yeah, do we?
Nahir, the cloaked serpent.
That's right. I can't remember. Okay. Yeah, we do know who created it.
We know who created Uk'otoa. We don't know about the others. Uk'otoa is the only one that we know for sure. This specific guy created this specific one. There were others created, but we don't know who created which ones.
Okay.
So.
Do you think his attempt to get into this tomb is because he is keyed in to how close Uk'otoa is to being released? Because we talked about that it would make sense for all of the evil gods, for their subjects to be in a race.
Yeah.
To loose
they could
these beings. Or is it Uk'otoa has 3 locks for his lock, and for the Tarrasque, those other 3 must also be released. That those are the 3 locks to its release.
Possibly.
Is just where, I'm spitballing here, but that's sort of where my brain goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the King's instrument fits into what we were talking about. Deathless sleep. That's the Tarrasque. Until the world ends.
Yeah. It completely fits the Tarrasque.
So, I have a couple things to comment about that whole section.
Yeah, me too.
The first is the 40-foot diameter tunnel that bisects the path that they are on.
Right.
At least that's my understanding of Matt's description.
Oh yeah.
Is they're on a path, and then this thing comes across that path. and then they follow the wide tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So that they don't follow this path.
Yeah.
They also didn't really run into any traps.
Correct.
So was it the Celestials' idea that patience or impatience be their only line of defense? We'll just make a really long, mostly straight tunnel. They'll get bored of it eventually.
Yeah. Descends uniformly.
Yeah, that's... And that worm, if that is... So, that's the other thing. Is that the worm depicted in the Uk'otoa temple?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I have on my notes Uk'otoa's cousin.
Yeah. Because it's bigger than the purple worm tunnels that they came to Jorhas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think...
And if it is his tunnel, her tunnel, its tunnel, does that mean it's already been released?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the obelisk that they find, that's of a different stone than the rest of the area.
Yeah, and with abyssal writing on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Build every bridge. Those are the dimensional anchors. Become every nightmare. Leads right to what the incubus and succubus were doing.
Yeah.
Feast on every heart. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a great set of tenets for an evil paladin.
Yes.
I'm thinking subclass right there.
Yeah. Well, especially with our Hell Scions.
Yeah.
An abyssal paladin. Yeah.
That's where my mind went when that was read.
Yeah. So see, just taking statues down isn't enough.
Yes.
Sorry, that's too political. Can't just deface them. Gotta shatter them completely. But it's also this crypt seems to be the first evidence that we've had that celestials and good gods are on the side of the dynasty.
Yes.
The information we've gotten from the Bright Queen about the Luxon is that the Luxon was before the gods.
Right.
Well,
that's... Yeah.
And we talked about, well, does that mean it's the Tal'Dorei is made from the body of a dead celestial?
Right.
But equally possible is to make the Morning Lord palatable to these beings.
Yeah.
The origin story was moved aside.
Well, and in the Dynasty's version, in the beginning, there was light. In the Tal'Dorei campaign setting, it starts with music. So it's a different origin story.
Yeah.
And Matt even says in the, he has said in interviews, and he said in the Tal'Dorei, that there are still, that the one in the book is just the most widely accepted one, that there are other origin stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my thought, is the Luxon just, Zeus, Odin, just a different culture's name for the same being.
Yeah.
Descriptor of the same being. And we do know that the Luxon freed the Drow of Xhorhas from Wolf's control.
Yes.
Which could be their telling of sealing Wolf behind the Divine Gate.
Yeah. Well, it also would have taken something more, though.
Yeah.
It would have taken a prophet among the Drow to stop the worship of Loth,
Oh yeah.
which didn't happen in Exandria.
Right.
So yeah, we have the doors opened ever so slightly. The freeze or relief of the angels,
the weeping angels,
weeping blood, and that courtyard surrounded with them, and the bones of angels in the room.
Yep.
Which gave me feelings of the prophecy when he was describing that. I thought of the flash in the prophecy when they're talking about the second war in heaven, and just a field of angels.
Yeah.
Laying, and I was like, oh. They bring up, so when Matt was describing the wall that Not was looking, because of the celestial at the opening, and because I was so hyped for the Tarrasque, I was like, it's back. That wall is just, it's back.
Okay.
But then they ask, is there a door? And he says, yes. And I'm like, okay, not the Tarrasque's back. That's both good and bad.
It's a little early for him to make a physical appearance.
Well, the thing is, like, a dormant, sleeping Tarrasque, I think, is the perfect way to introduce it. It's the perfect way to light the fire under the players.
Yeah.
Because since they've been in the Dynasty, they're getting more into the more heroic thing. They're less about the selfish assholes.
Yeah.
Because they've realized our petty mortal concerns pale in comparison to hell coming to Earth. We need to stop this.
Yeah.
So I think if this ends with them confronting Oban in front of the sleeping Tarrasque, that's my hope. Where the final battle takes place, or just outside that place. I don't think it will happen though. As much as I want it to, I don't think it's going to happen. I think there will be a puzzle or a piece to the puzzle. It will be a portion of the lock to awaken the Tarrasque, much like the independent temples for Upatoa. Or they will be shown, hey, the worm is free. Ukatoa is close to being free. That phoenix may or may not be free.
Yeah.
But Oban might be like, this is the end goal.
Yeah.
And you have helped it.
Yeah, that's possible. I want to backtrack real quick before we get too late and have to start. Because I had a thought about when Ford and Caduceus talk. And we missed that, and that was kind of a big story moment, at least for Ford's arc, for the redemption thing. He talks to Caduceus about the Wilde mother.
Yes.
And they meditate, and he talks about it. He talks about the three families, and I realized, what if Ford doesn't multi-class and doesn't switch patrons in the sense of not being a hexblade anymore? So the hexblade, there's an entity that works through a weapon. So to sever the tie, he would have to give up the Sword of Fathoms. They're going to kill him, or you could destroy the Sword of Fathoms, drop it into the volcano, kind of thing. Caduceus has a broken sword. that they could repair and could be his weapon that the Wild Mother works through to make him a hexblade.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of that angle, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and yeah, because we were talking about last week, what does Caduceus pray to the Wild Mother?
Yeah.
In regards to his friends.
Yeah.
What does he ask for them? And he keeps asking about this sword, and he keeps asking about Thorn and Vandrin.
Yep.
So, yeah, maybe.
I still personally want to see him either get Gauntlets of Overpower or, something, and flipping to Paladin, multi-classing into Paladin, or waiting for the ASI and doing it later.
Or just a tattoo.
Yeah, or a tattoo or some other means. I'm still hoping for that, because I think that's a really neat way to resolve his arc, especially if he does the Paladin of Redemption.
Yeah.
Which is what, my hope is for.
Yeah.
That's in my mind's eye, that's how the story should go. I'm excited to see what does happen. If it's not that, then, that's my hope. But that's a way that he can just keep being the Hexblade. Maybe Matt lets him switch up some of his spells to be more nature themed with the patron switch, quote unquote patron switch. Maybe not, but
and this is why some of the Hexblade's abilities don't translate over well.
Yeah,
because the Wild Mother's never going to let him raise the Spectre.
Yeah, but if you change it to like a Blight.
I guess there are ways to reflavor it.
Yeah.
So, this upcoming episode, because I think that's basically all of the major lore dumps and interactions that we've covered.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think Yasha is going to have to face, in some way, what she's done. And that is going to be key to defeating this guy. I think defeating him is the first step on her path back to becoming a protection Asamarian.
Okay.
Or even Scourge. But we got confirmation that Ashley didn't know that was possible.
Yeah.
So this is something that Matt has thrown in as a tease for her. That she could or could not.
Yeah. If you want to pursue this, there's a way.
Yeah. But I think that starts in earnest with confronting this guy.
Yeah.
Whatever he is. And I expect summons to happen.
Okay.
I think he is going to summon demons to help him. Or they will find him summoning those demons to break through the tomb.
Okay.
Or whatever lock he's trying to get through. Because it seems like he's broken everything. And through all the defenses that might have been here. Already and effortlessly. Because there's been no signs of struggle.
Yeah. And see, I'm thinking, well, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm thinking that the reason why he wants Yasha is because he needs celestial blood to break that last bond.
Is Yasha the Angel of Irons?
Is
or the instrument, the Angel of Irons?
Yeah.
Is the Angel of Irons
her
good?
Yeah.
Or bad? Because we were going into this thinking that was an evil entity.
Yeah.
But based upon the iconography that we've seen so far, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. But is Yasha's celestially tainted blood
Yes.
key to
Well, and
unlocking.
Matt has said that in the past, that ASIM are sought after for that connection to do those things. So yeah, I think for sure. Now, whether or not he had her in mind at this particular moment, I don't know.
Yeah.
This may be, oh, she's here. Cool, we'll go do this now.
Yeah.
But we are going to go enjoy Liam and Sam on Talks.
Yep.
Follow, subscribe, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.